Well, a warm good afternoon. My name is Arturo Massaro.
And my name is Claudia van Zuiden.
And both we are the co-founders of CWA. And that means Conscious World Agents.
Yeah.
And to begin, we're going to talk about heartfulness. But first of all, I want to say something. This week was, again, so amazing. We went every Tuesday morning we have our weekly meeting. Then we have a meeting about conscious world agents, what went well, what can we do more, and so on. But the weather was so lovely, so we went outside. We went to the dunes and had our meeting and our place there as an office. We had a meeting there. It was so wonderful. New ideas, creativity, but also nice walks. And, well, it was wonderful.
It was wonderful, yeah. And the 4 buzzards.
The buzzards, 4 buzzards above our heads. And that's also always a sign, especially for Claudia.
Yeah.
Then we went, one of our good friends, Adamik, was having his birthday. And he invited us to speak on his birthday during a live session for a whole day. And wow.
Yes. Hearts were overflowing.
Yeah, the room was filled with love. Only beautiful people, and well, of course, everybody is beautiful. But what they send out and the message they have for the world was.
And Aramik with his own family and also, his generosity.
Yeah.
His heart was so full. Absolutely. It was just incredible, and how he spoke about his father, who inspired him so much like that.
Yeah,
it was incredible. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and then this morning, from one of my good best friends, we got a microphone for our really professional one for our podcast that we are going to have and do already. And it's such a beautiful thing. It excites me every time. And also this week, another good friend of mine sent me a message, and he said, "Well, Arturo, maybe you want to give a training in a company I know." And I have a conversation next week with them. So the reason I mention this is not to brag or say, "Well, everything's wonderful." No, but if you live from your heart, if you send out the things that you want, if you really feel the love inside of you, things will happen.
Yeah.
I don't know what will happen with you. I don't know the results, but things come to you. And basically, and that's the small bridge I want to make to all the posts that we wrote this week. Do you start or shall I start?
No, I think you're so in the flow.
Yeah,
if it feels good to you.
Yeah.
Yes,
And at the end we have an announcement about our CWA Experience Day that's held on April the 17th. And we have also
a nice surprise.
A nice surprise.
It's Good Friday today.
It's Good Friday. So we have a good surprise.
Gift. We have a good gift.
We have a good gift for you. My first post, and the quote above it says, "If you never lost your mind, you never followed your heart." And basically that's true. We're looking for a lot of happiness, and maybe you also experienced small times that you felt everything was in flow, everything was there. You didn't have to work that hard. Everything was already arranged, more or less. And how, you don't know, but it happened there. And what also happens then is that you feel the high energy in this, but you want to keep it. You want to grab it. And probably that's the wrong way to do it, because that's the mind. The mind then says, "Okay, let's do it. Let's grab this moment. I want to have it all." Every time. But what you do then is you go from the heart feeling, everything went smooth, you go to the mind. And the mind says you need to do something for it. You need to work for it. And in this world where we are, in this rushing world, in this, sometimes I call it a rat race, but your heart is always speaking to you, but you overrule it by the mind. Because you're in a reactive mode due to all this rush that you see around you. But can you be the eye in the storm? Can you be there, the quiet person, being silent, where kids run around in the corridor and so on, and all the distractions are all around you? But can you still stay quiet and listen to your heart? And your heart is telling you what you really want. And follow your heart doesn't mean that it's always easy. But you must have the courage to lose your mind. Because the mind is constantly want to take control. So take a deep breath. Just do it now. Take one deep breath. And feel already what it brings you. What's the benefit of already doing this? And what I always experience is, if I go to my heart, I really feel all the attention going down, down, down to my body, and suddenly somewhere here around my heart and a little bit lower, I feel all the contraction slowly go out my body. I feel a relief. And at that moment, I can listen to my heart. I really can listen to my heart. My heart is always giving an answer. On every question I ask, it will give an answer. And the heart is basically the way the universe, it uses the hearts, the universe uses the heart to connect with us, to talk with us, to have the conversation with us. And every time when you feel the excitement, every time when you intuitive know, I need to do this, oh yes, this is my path. Just like the kids now in the corridor having their path, they feel they need to do it, they run, but they don't mind about the sound around it. But every time when you feel it, take the first step. Just take the first step and see what it brings you. And let the mind go. Let the mind behind there. And if you do this more often, you will get, how do you say it, acquainted with this.
You become acquainted.
Yeah, you become acquainted with how to do this. And I can give you dozens of stories in my own life, and probably Claudia can do it also. That at a certain moment I said, no, I'm listening to my heart now.
Yeah.
Although maybe the whole world around you says, please don't do it, just do it. Just do it. And as soon as you're doing this, the universe will give you more and more. It will help you. But more about that in my second post.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah. So that's what your post was about. And during the week, because we write things down.
Yeah.
And then, according to the law of attraction, things, your work of, you attracted different work again, and things like that might come besides the work that you're already doing. And also some lovely experiences came like that. So is there something then that you find once you've written about your post that things have changed for yourself as well? So when we write these posts, do you also become more aware yourself? Or?
Yes. Well, that's all the time.
Yeah.
I know that it works. It's not believing in it. I know it works. I already experienced it dozens of times. But every time when I'm going to write about it, I can write 10 pages about it. But I need to keep it short because people don't read anymore that long. Yeah. And also when we post it on LinkedIn, we only have 1,300 images, or how do you say that?
Yeah, I know you mean letters.
Letters that we can use. So we need to comprehend it.
Yeah.
And that makes it that I must write down the essential things that I want to share.
Mm-hmm.
And every time when I do this, I can only do it by slowing down and not thinking with the mind, because the mind is going to write everything down. Mm-hmm. But my heart, if I slow down, take the deep breath and write it, then the right things will come up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is also perhaps nice for people if they want to start writing themselves about things. So nice. Great.
Yeah. The floor is yours, my lovely lady.
Thank you. Yeah, I love those stories. We just love sharing stories from the heart, you know. And also, first of all, before I start to speak about my post, I want to thank everybody for watching. Mm-hmm. Every time when you watch, you know, we get so happy, and that we get messages, private messages from people who really are so touched by what we share, and we are so touched again by what you share. So, of course, like we said before, we don't have the truth, as in this is our truth and you should follow that. We just speak from our heart, what has helped us, and that is basically what we share. And yes, of course, we are trained in certain ways in our work as coaches and so forth, and in therapists and yoga training, and you know, we don't want to brag, but that's what we did. Yeah. You know, I went to the university in Aberdeen to study solution-focused therapy. You did your coaching training and also the solution-focused training. I went to India to do retreat as well there, and I'm still under the guidance of Swami Samapan Saraswati, who continuously is there for me. If I don't know it, or if I have certain questions, he is there with some other teachers of India as well. So we are constantly learning too. But what we're learning on the way, we want to share with you, because it has helped us. And people have come to us all the time saying, how do you do it? Because we've also had our difficult situations. But we came out of it. And my second post is about that today. No mud, no lotus. So, you know, we need to have some mud to become that flower, that beautiful, beautiful, impeccable flower, as the lotus flower represents also our mind and I would say our heart. So, my first post was about the heart chakra. And in the yogic tradition and in other traditions, we speak about the chakras, the energy centers that we have in our subtle energy body. But they energetically are in our physical body. So I think in most traditions that I've come across, they speak about similar energy wheels. And if these energy wheels are out of balance, then somehow this has an effect on us. So if you see people who have an imbalanced heart chakra, they often have heart problems, and they often have lung problems, and they also have certain emotions very strong, such as anger, resentment, hatred, and so forth, and quite strong, and they voice them a lot. Their lack of compassion, they often want to be right, and they're rather than being happy. So and that is very sad in a way, because they miss a lot in their lives, and often people then in their last breath. I've been in nursing for 25 years. Those people said, "I wish I had been more compassionate in my life and more understanding, and didn't want to be right." So. For me, that heart chakra is very, very important. Our heart center is so sensitive, and especially in the West, the rate of heart problems is so high that I feel if we learn how to connect with the heart and to, like Arturo was saying so beautifully, to live from the heart, then we like you said, something goes out of our system, and then everything changes in our body, because our physiology started to change. Some hormones are being activated. The glands are starting to be activated, especially in the heart center as well. There's a certain gland in that area that gets activated that starts to bring your immune system up to speed. So it has incredible effects on our senses and on our physiology as well. So what we can do is help you to, how do you do that? So for me, it's like when I really, like you say, connect to the heart, it's like when I take a deep breath and I try to let go of the mind and I start to feel. And that's just by, first of all, I focus on the breathing, see how, if I'm breathing, not just a shallow breath up to here, but do I really let it go into my lungs, to the bottom of my lungs? Do I fill up a whole of my lungs? Because then I get a sensation in my rib cage, and that's where my heart is. So I can actually feel that the awareness has an impact on my senses. And when I do that, it's easier for me to connect with the heart. And I have come to realize through meditation that my self, the real self, it resides in my heart. It is here. And every decision that I have, or that I make when it comes from there, has always been, like you say, the right decision. So first of all, we need to learn how to make that connection with the heart. And when we do, then we start to bring up a whole new network of neural pathways in our brain as well, because our brain has also a whole intrinsic network of neurotransmitters, proteins, and so forth that sends messages to our brain. So much more than the brain sends to our heart. So can you imagine when you start to activate your heart, it is sending all the time messages to your brain, and you start to think more compassionately, you start to think more kindly, and that is the effect that is starting to happen. You're reversing the whole system in your body, and when you start to do that, you started to create new neural pathways in your brain that automatically start to generate new habits, new conditioning. And next week we'll talk more about that, about subconscious level and so forth. So you are creating a new condition, but you will come from your true self that resides in your heart. Your true self doesn't sit in your head. And you always say that so beautifully, Arturo. Let's do that now as well.
Let's do it now.
Yeah. Everybody who's watching, please try this. This is so lovely.
Well, it's a simple thing, and to be honest, I learned this from Wayne Dyer. I just forgot the name.
Good old Wayne.
Wayne Dyer. So it's all the credits goes to him, wherever he may be. Well, what I want you to do, can you just point to yourself? Just point now to yourself. And please keep pointing to yourself. And notice, and if there are other persons in the room, please do the same. If you have more people around you, point to yourself and look at them. And if you are alone, look at yourself and see that nobody's pointing here. Nobody's pointing to your head, to your mind. You're all pointing to your heart. That's who you are. That's really where the core is of you.
Yes.
This is what you want?
Yes. I just love this. We had our experience day online this weekend. My gosh, we were just blown away. Totally humbled and we were quite tearful actually. It was so beautiful to see the transformation in people. And I see some people, I'm not mentioning any name, but I see some people are watching who are coming to the Bussum one. And oh my gosh, we can't wait to share with you this. And but yeah, that is really so beautiful from the heart. And so my experiment to you today, for this week, was when you see someone and you check in, how are you? Check with yourself, am I asking this question from my heart or am I asking this from my head? Do I really want to know? Do I really coming from this place? Say, how are you? What's going on in your life? When I ask that, does it come from here? Or am I thinking, oh, I need to go and get the bus, or I want to say that they're okay because I am quite in a hurry. What is going on? Just check, and don't judge yourself for it, but just start to become familiar with asking people, how are you coming from this place? And we would love to hear how you get on with that. And if you're already doing that, I'm sure you do. There's nothing new. We're not telling you anything new. We're just trying to do more of what works. So if you have any experiences, please share with us. I want to keep it like that because I can go on on and on like you about this. So but thank you again for being here and for making this world more connected from the heart. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. And just imagine if much more people, and well, in the ideal world, everybody is doing this. Yeah. What kind of benefit will we see around us? What's the change? How will we use or help this planet? How we will help each other? And there was this week on a lot of posts I read a story about an anthropologist who was in Africa. And he said to the kids, this is a nice bucket full of the best fruit that you can ever think of. And he put it in a few meters away to a tree, and he said to the children, if I say yes, the first person who's there got the whole bucket. So the children were online, and he said yes. And all children just walked hand in hand towards the bucket full of fruit. They were sitting there, eat all the fruit together. And then the Western guy, he asked the children, well, why didn't you run? You could have the whole bucket for yourself. And then they all looked at him and said, Ubuntu. And he said, Ubuntu? And I said, yes. How can I be happy if the rest of my group and my friends are sad? How can I be happy? And Ubuntu means I am because we are. And every time I read this story, and even when I tell it now, I feel it in my whole body, this love for each other. We need to do it together. Yeah. And we cannot do it together with the mind. We need the mind to make plans. But the mind is not there for the ethical questions and the answers. It's not for the moral ones. The heart does. The heart knows the answers for that. The mind knows how to get there. But the heart tells you the end picture. Okay. And basically this is, it's also a nice next step to my second post I wrote. And that is, we all need to make choices every day, again and again. You make choices as soon as you stand up. Am I going to eat or not? What kind of clothes am I going to wear? Do I take a shower or not? And all these kind of things. How do I go to my work if you go outside? You need to make choices every time, and that's okay. That's the automatic ones, and that's great. But the important choices you cannot make from the mind. The essential things you cannot see in life. They're felt by the heart. You cannot see love. You feel it. You cannot see compassion. You feel it. All these kind of things. And all the nice things you ever experienced in your life, the moments that you thought, wow, this is great, had never ever to do with any material things. It always, and for me there are no exceptions, it always had to do with how I felt and in relationship to other people. And I have also a son, Bentinho Massaro. He's 33 years old now. And he said one thing that, he said a lot of things, but he said especially one thing that always, I always remember. And the thing is, as long as you trust your mind to make choices, you need to make choices every day, again and again, your whole life. As soon as you're going to trust your heart to make the choices there, that's the last choice you have to make. choose to trust your heart, the universe will help you. So you will get things on your path that you can never think of. Your mind is too limited for that. Even your imagination is too limited for all the things that the universe can show you. So trust your heart, follow it, have faith in the universe that it will help you.
Yeah, I think you're on a roll today. I love it.
It's Good Friday, so
yeah. We just love sharing all those heart stories with each other, and and I love it when you do this as well. Thank you for that. It's a good reminder as well to hear it ourselves, and I certainly love it, and it always works for me. And it's like that energy that resonates, and I'm sure you can feel it when Arturo speaks like that. And it will touch something in your heartstrings, and your frequency will hopefully also be affected by that. It certainly does it with me. So I love that, and thank you for sharing Martino's quote as well. It's beautiful, so appropriate.
Thank you.
Anything else about that?
let's make it.
Okay. All right. So well, I'll go on to my post then. My second post was, like I said, was no mud, no lotus, and all of us will come across some mud in our lives, and that is not always easy. We can get stuck. We can get really bruised with it. What can happen in our lives, but somehow when we come out of that, we say, I learned something from this. It did something with me. Most of the stories that I've heard in my life, like I said, in 25 years of nursing, a lot of people that I've seen who've lost their children through horrific accidents, or their husbands, or someone who'd been in the war, and I saw some horrific things. Somehow they learned something from it, and it made them somewhat stronger, but also more compassionate to others, because they looked at others thinking, wow, they went through that also, or they never assumed as much about other people as maybe the general public did. That's maybe also an assumption, but there was something more compassionate about them, because you never know when you walk through the street what someone has been going through. You might think, well, that person is a bit off today, or they're not so friendly in the shops. But we never know how that person maybe got in the shop in the first place. You don't know what that person went through in the night, or even how they got to work. So I think that is really something we need to remember in ourselves as well. We all have been through the mud, and we're still here. And we still here loving life to some level. And I can see why some people really struggle, having gone through a lot of these challenges in life. But there's still hope for them as well. So we must never give up hope in that. But what I noticed, that when I went to India or I went to Nepal, the children were much more taught ways of thinking that promoted emotional intelligence. That promoted spiritual intelligence, and that gave them such strength. And that was actually, for a Western mother of 3 children, it was like, what? How come we don't teach that at school? And how come I was not taught that as a child? Because I could have taught that to my children straight from then. So some ways I knew a little bit, but because of experience also myself as a child, that I knew that I didn't want to bring up my children that way, and had good conversations with my children around that, and to the point that some beautiful things came out of that I could have never imagined. But the thing is, how can we start from a young age to cultivate compassion? That is one of the things when we look at promoting social and emotional intelligence. First, we look at compassion to ourselves. May I be kind to myself, because if I'm kind to myself and understanding to myself, I can therefore be kinder to others. So And what happens then? You become this kinder person, and you start to attract more people also who want that. Their energy matches you somehow, and you start to inspire each other that way, and your community will grow. And hence we started Conscious World Agents, because that's what we feel. We're already conscious agents, but we would like to see a greater community growing from that. Yeah. And what we feel is when your heart starts to open, you start to connect more, like you say, with people from a heart center, from a heart space, and the relationships will flourish much more. There are much more possibilities for joy, for love, for compassion, and how do we do that? So I would say one of the experience that I gave was like start when you notice that you're judging yourself for something that you think you've done not so well. Ask yourself, so okay, I've learned hopefully from this, or maybe I haven't learned from this, but what can I do differently next time? Because there's always another time. I can't change the past. I can't change the future. I can only feel what is happening now. And right now I can make a conscious choice to say, next time I'm going to try that. And if that's very difficult, for example, you could say, I don't want to be angry anymore so quickly. Then you could say, at least for today, I'm trying for 10 minutes or 10 seconds not to be angry. Yeah. That is a start. Yeah. And then you can feel that compassion for yourself. At least I tried. And if, another one with compassion, for example, to cultivate is forgiveness. If it's difficult to forgive, then you can say, may I have the wish that one day I'm able to forgive. So if you can't forgive right now, then have the wish that one day you're able to do that. And that is already starting to bring some compassion in your heart. And then when we start to cultivate compassion within, we're most likely to bring that out into the world as well. And it will bring more joy in our lives.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And in our relationships will become more fluid.
Yeah, beautiful.
So,
beautiful story, Mela.
Oh. Yeah. So, what else did we want to say? I would like to say a little bit more about Conscious World Agents for everybody who's watching. We have this program called 4-Leaf Clover, and with that we share, like we said, everything we know. Yeah. And that's a year program, and we would really invite you to look at that if that somehow resonates. And then after that we have a 1-week program that's called the 5th-Leaf Clover, and that will deepen your whole year experience. And what we hope is that people who have done that program with us, they will want to become conscious world agents themselves, and perhaps in their communities start small projects or sharing these experience days that we are giving. Yeah. That is our wish.
Yeah, and if a person wants to be that conscious world agent, then we really give the whole stuff. The slides from the experience day, the slides, all the content, the movies, our support, and so on. Yeah. So you can also give that experience day in your own surroundings, where you. That can be in the Netherlands, where we live, but that can all over the world, in China, in the UK, in India, wherever you live, you can do it. Yeah. So we're going to support you.
Yeah, that is what we've created now, and but you can also just do the experience day, or you can also do the 4-Leaf program. It doesn't have to. But some people who came to our first experience day here, they went like, "Oh my gosh, I want to learn how to do this myself. How do I do that?" And that's how we said, that's what we've created, a program. So if that resonates, get in contact with us. That'd be wonderful. Because we started a private Facebook group with the people who have joined the experience days, and where we share, we go deeper also into this experience. We're going to expand our consciousness together, and we're supporting each other to do that as well. So if you want to become part of that family, and it's not religious, it's just all inclusive, it's secular. I really want to put an emphasis on that as well. And if that resonates, then come and join us. It would be wonderful.
Yeah. Well, talking about the Experience Day, the CWA Experience Day, next coming April 17th, we already have the next one. It will be a live version here in Bassum, in our monastery. And normally this day will cost you 180 euros. So 180 euros. Of course, you will get the drinks and a workbook and two, to be honest, experienced facilitators. We're doing this work already for more than 20 years. But this week, till April 7th, we are going to give you a discount. And instead of 180 euros, it will be 135 euros. So 135. Go to our, and that's including the VAT.
The VAT.
The VAT.
Yeah.
You cannot call it VAT?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in case people don't know what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you. In Dutch, it's BTW.
Yes.
Okay. So please go to our webpage, and that's www.consciousworldagents.com, and then go to Experience Day. And there you find all the information. We have a promo movie also. You will see and read the reviews of the people who already followed the course and what the benefits for them for them were. And then there's also a sign up button. Go to the Eventbrite page. Then you can immediately go to the paying system also, but signing up. And you need to use a specific promo code. And the promotion code is April 1. And 1 is a number, not written with O-N-E. It's 1. April 1. And it's not a joke, it's real.
No, it's real. Yeah, so that's only until 12 o'clock at night on our time, 7th of April. Yeah, great. Ah, okay, so we really... sorry.
Yeah, we had already the early bird price, and a lot of people already signed up for that. Yeah. But now we wanted to do something extra. It's a Good Friday, so let's do something good.
Yeah, and we really now make these courses quite cheap because, we really... we just want to share more of it, so but that's what it's about. But I think it's a great offer, and it really gives an opportunity for people to attend who maybe can't afford it right now. And if you feel somebody could benefit, then please share that post with them as well, because we can't reach everybody, but you might know somebody in your life that you say, oh my gosh, if they could only practice this or attend this, that could really help them. And if there's someone who really can't afford it, then let them get in touch with us as well, because we also have scholarships. So, but then we need to have a talk with them as well. We can maybe arrange something else. So, but we really would love that if you know that somebody who you really think, oh gosh, or even if you want to give it to somebody, that could be a great gift that could change their lives.
Yeah.
And let us tell you, we had people there who really said this course changed my life for the better. So if you feel somebody's really stuck, then this might be the course you want to help them with. Yeah. Any case, it's been so wonderful to share this with you again, and thank you again. Every time we share these things, I benefit too.
And it's so lovely to do it together. It's every time it's uplifting also us to share with you. Yeah. And so that's also one of the things of conscious world agents. It's not only for benefit of ourselves, it's the benefit for the bigger picture, for everybody on this planet, every sentient being.
To become more conscious, how we live, how we relate, and to really find our purpose in life. So that's what we are certainly doing. We really living our purpose with all our love, with all our heart, and how wonderful. I see that Yolanda is saying, thank you, Yolanda, for being here. It's always so wonderful, Yolanda. And we really live our purpose, and thank you for making that happen for us as well, to be here with us in the journey back to ourselves.
Have a wonderful Easter.
have a wonderful weekend. And thank you for your support. And also you can follow us on Instagram, Conscious World Agents, and we have a YouTube channel. All the films that we have done, they are on there. And and we have one, we can already say it, maybe the surprise on the 16th of April.
Is there a surprise on the
Facebook
16th?
Live. Well,
Okay,
we have
yeah.
a very nice guest speaker coming, and we can just give a little.
Oh, yeah.
It's Mac McCarthy.
Yeah. Mac McCartney. That's maybe, although that's strange, you never heard of him, but he's really an international speaker, an author, and he wrote a wonderful book. But not only his message is so profound. Yeah. It's that's really coming from heart when he's telling you.
Yeah, that is incredible.
Yeah.
And one of his books, I don't know if he wrote more, but Children of the Fire.
Right.
That's the book that I'm reading at the moment as well from him. And we had the honor to speak with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just a wonderful person. So put it in your diary. 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think that's the plan.
3 p.m.
on
April
16th. Friday 16th. Mac McCarthy, check him out. He's the founder of Ambercombe as well in Devon. Incredible place. He came out of the corporate world and decided that there needed to be a space where indigenous wisdom would be reactivated, and we would start living our lives like that, with relationship with the earth and with each other. So he's an amazing person. So join us for that too. No, I think that's it. All right. Lots of love. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
And have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.